Okay, getting back into it with project selection. This is great stuff. I hope you're doing it too. This is back here with the PM Balance Guru, if you don't mind. So, anyhow, the project management body of knowledge, the PMBOK, it's a framework, right, that fits into any industry, as I mentioned. And that's where you apply your industry life cycles to the framework that the project management body of knowledge provides you. And you put all these things into this framework and you'll produce your deliverables. So as project managers, you are tailoring. It says these are a set of good practices. You will tailor them to achieve your project needs, right? Tailoring is always required, and very much tied to that in my mind is progressive elaboration, which we've spoken of previously. There are two starting points in this tailoring process, in this framework process, and that's the business case and the benefits management plan. The business case defines the need of the project. These are the documents that discuss the feasibility of the study and the benefits that will be earned. Where the benefits management plan is going to define the maximum benefit that you expect to receive. So this is all pre-initiation of the IPEC, initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and closing. So you have this business case, which defines why this project is needed and how it ties to strategy. Those can be internal needs or external. And of course, it could also be a statement of work or contracts that the company's already agreed to or signed, right? The key is that the project must tie the organizational strategic plan through the business case to your project. This is not someone's whim. From a theoretical project management perspective. Now, so as the project manager, we want to define success. Traditionally, success has always been defined as schedule, cost, and scope, sometimes quality, right? That's how we define success. That will always be the case, but now we expand success based on these documents to link to the organizational strategy. So, did we meet the business case? Did we satisfy the benefits management plan? Did we meet the financial measures discussed in those documents for net present value or return on investment, internal rate of return, payback period, benefit cost ratio, just to name a few, whatever the success is. Now, this slide shows you how project success is defined in terms of financial measures. Notice there are two ways to financially measure project success. There's either benefits measurement, number one, or if you jump down to the bottom, constrained optimization. All you need to know about constrained optimization is that these are linear models of mathematics. That's it. We aren't mathematicians, we are project managers. We are integrators of all, knowledgeable of all, experts at none. Not none, but still, you get what I'm saying. Now back to benefits measurement. That can be done in four ways. You can have a murder board where you lay out the paperwork and have people criticize it and chew it up. A peer review where I could, as an accountant, do some documents, pass it to another accountant for a peer review. I could do a scoring model, which can be weighted. I'll show you that in a minute. Or economic models. Economic models largely fall under these bullets: present value, future value, net present value, return on investment, IRR, payback period, benefit cost ratio, or opportunity cost. I've defined them here. We'll go through a few in the next couple of slides. Of the formulas, please know these two. The present value equals future value divided by 1 plus the interest rate to the nth power, where n is the number of time periods and the interest rate. If it's a 5% interest, it would be 1 plus 0.05. That's 5%. So it would be 1.05 to, if it's over 3 years, to the third power. And then future value is similar. It's future value equals present value. Instead of divided, it's times 1 plus the interest rate to the nth power. Okay? Know these definitions and how financial measures break out. Let me summarize it though. Can I make your life easier? You want to know the definitions for the exams, but bigger is better when it comes to all of them except two. And those are smaller is better. So smaller is better in payback period. If I loan you $10, when do I want my money back? I want it back now. I'm not going to get it now. You needed to borrow it, but tomorrow would be great. Less happy if it's a week from now, right? The shorter, the better. The smaller, the better. With opportunity cost, it's still smaller is better. If I have two projects and I'm comparing them and I can only choose one or the other, right? I will choose the project that has the higher benefit, which means I'm going to lose the opportunity of the other project. So the project not selected is actually the opportunity cost. It's the cost to the company. You're never going to realize that opportunity. Any of the rest of them, if they give you two present values on the exam or two net present values or two internal rate of returns, 8% or 28%, go with bigger is better, 28%, for example. This is all about the time value of money. Money, small money, turning into big money over time. Now, if the term sunk costs come up, some costs are costs already incurred. You've spent them. They cannot be recovered. So when the question comes up about sunk costs as a project manager, always ask yourself this question. What is the real question related here? And the real question is this. Is the objective still achievable and tied to corporate strategy? If the answer is yes, then sunk costs don't matter. Yes, you'll have to explain them to your boss. Yes, you'll have to tell them why you have sunk costs and you're not on budget. But if the objectives are still achievable and still tied to corporate strategy, the project should continue. Sunk costs are not really a reason to cancel a project. Now, from a strategic perspective too, as a project manager, you want to be aware of accounting terms and depreciation. So working capital. The reason I want to know what working capital is, what are the company's current assets minus current liabilities, is how much money is available to invest. If I have sunk costs, right? Imagine building the Apple iPad, right? It was a very unknown thing. What's an app? What's an app store? What's an iPad? Nope, none of this existed, right? And so current assets minus current liabilities mattered because you needed to know how much money was available to invest. As a project manager, in discussing my budget, I also want to be aware of depreciation, right? Because I can write off the costs of some items over time. Depreciation comes in two forms for the exam. Straight line, so it's just $50 if I have a $500 product over a tool, a crane, over 10 years. I'm going to depreciate $50 a year, straight line every year. Accelerated comes in two types. Double declining balance and sum of years digits. Just know that depreciation accelerates up front. Now I give you examples of straight line and accelerated. They're fairly well laid out. This is math will not be on the exam, but I wanted you to see it firsthand, right? So with straight line, I have my cost, minus I might have some salvage value at the end, and it's a 5-year project, so that's $10,000 after the salvage value. So I'm going to depreciate in a straight line $2,000 a year. Double declining balance actually does straight line, but it doubles it, right? So for example, in this example, I have depreciation is normally at 10% a year on a $500,000 crane. Well, in the first year, a double declining balance, I would depreciate double that, 20%, which would be $100,000. I'd have $400,000 left. In year two, I would depreciate another 20%, that double declining balance of the $400,000, and that's $80,000. So I would have $320,000 left to depreciate. And then sum of years digits. It actually, so over a 5-year project, sums up the years. Year 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 gives me a total of 15. So in year 1, I'm going to take 5/15 as a depreciation. In year 2, 4/15, etc. But you don't need to know that for the exam. That's just FYI. I mentioned weighted scoring as a financial model, right? So you want to determine critical success factors and assign weights. I did an example here based on buying a car. I want to buy a used car for my family. My critical success factors I've determined are cost, safety, and mileage. I've weighted them because I don't have a lot of money, so I made cost the highest weight. Safety is important. I like my family. Mileage, not really a critical factor, weighted heavily because I've got a friend that will fix my car for free. He's good at it, and he just charges me parts, right? So I'm not too worried about that. I don't want it to be extreme because I can't abuse the friendship. And so I go out, I find used car 1, 2, and 3. I assess them, I give a score, and I choose the one with the best score. That's a weighted scoring model. We've talked progressive elaboration. No need to elaborate, but boom, psh, that any further. But there are some notes. Please study those. Okay, thanks a bunch. That was fun.